Welcome, Ghosts and Ghouls, to a new spooky edition of Movie Madness. I am Jimi Hendrix, aka Qobi III. These are our guests.
Mickey Mouse! And or Troy Rosso, however you want to do it.
And I'm zombie number 637, but you can call me Sri.
Thanks, Sri. Well, today we're going through our normal bracket of old movies versus new movies. We break it down in some classic rules, some pretty standard. These films are seeded by Rotten Tomato scores and have their domestic box office as a tiebreaker. And for each matchup, I will count down from 3, and these trick-or-treaters will reveal their preference. If there's a dispute, Troy and Sri will both have 30 seconds to make their case. As judge, I will have the final say, and I will base my decisions purely off of the arguments.
Let's do it.
So, to start with, we have number 1, Alien, Rotten Tomato score of 97, and The Blair Witch Project. Here we are. 3, 2, 1.
Alien.
That's kind of no-brainer there.
That's definitely a no-brainer there. Okay. Aliens on to the next round. So next we have A Nightmare on Elm Street and The Shining. Neither which I've seen, but let's go. 3, 2, 1.
The Shining.
On Elm Street. There we go.
Ooh, okay. So we have a little bit of dispute
Okay.
here. Okay. So let's see why do you think that your movie is the best?
Well, Nightmare on Elm Street was really a definitive slasher horror movie. Like, it really embodied everything. And plus, it introduced one of the most freaky killers that you can have. Like, something that kills you in your dreams with Jason, or with Freddy, excuse me. And, it was Johnny Depp's first film, which a lot of people don't know that too, was very entertaining to watch. Oh. It was just a very monumental film that people still go back to for classic horror. And he is one of the, pivotal monsters in monster movies.
It's a great argument. You got your work cut out of you.
We're talking about The Shining. You said you haven't watched any of these films, but I'm sure you know the Jack Nicholson scene where he goes, "Here's Johnny!" And so it's a classic. It has great Jack Nicholson performance, as well as obviously Stanley Kubrick is phenomenal. He's a great director. I mean, it's just a classic, and as any film lover would say, it's just a good film and a fun horror movie.
Okay. So based off those two arguments, I say I'd have to side with Sri. I like that. I do like The Shining. It's very iconic. That scene. Yeah,
I would give you that. It is a better movie. I just Nightmare for me is. I'd rather watch Nightmare over and over than Shining. But Shining is probably a better movie.
All right. With our next film, we have It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and Poltergeist. So without further ado, let's see what you guys think. 3, 2, 1.
Pumpkin.
Poltergeist.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I shut down everyone in the studio. Let's do this.
All right. Sri starts this time.
All right. So Poltergeist is a great film. It's like an old classic horror film about, it's just really creepy as like a little kid watching a TV. Like the whole personification of it is really creepy, as well as a lot of people don't know this, but it's a Steven Spielberg movie. Like, he basically directed the entire thing.
Okay.
And so it's like a DL project for him. So I think it's just because of Steven Spielberg, it's awesome.
Just because, okay.
Yeah.
And
see, to me, it's a great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. It's a Charlie Brown movie. These holiday movies are classics. You watch them every year. The Poltergeist, it gets just ridiculous looking later on at the end. Like, the only part that people remember is the little girl going, "They're here," on the TV. That's it. And other than that, when you actually watch it, it goes on and on. It's not really even a horror movie, other than the weird clown thing. I didn't find it scary. Whereas Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin is a classic movie. The type of movies that you watch every holiday season because it's Charlie Brown and it's their holiday specials. It's a lot more enjoyable than Poltergeist, hands down.
Better watch your back, Mickey Mouse.
I'm just gonna have to say I'm gonna side with Mickey on this one.
Dang it!
It's the Great Pumpkin. Charlie Brown definitely has that. Every around Thanksgiving, watch that movie. Halloween. It's great. All right, next we have Carrie and Halloween. Carrie with a Rotten Tomato score of 93 and Halloween with the same score of 93. Let's see what you guys think. 3, 2, 1.
Halloween.
Carrie.
What?
Oh, okay.
This is a tough one.
I was on a break too. I was like, what's one or the other? I could have easily gone with either one. So
all right, let's hear Mickey.
All right. Well, Carrie was just a crazy original idea. Like you have this girl who's just completely sheltered and completely battered by her mother and like super religious freak, but her mother hates her, and all of a sudden she develops these like telekinetic powers, and all the kids at school are picking on her. It's literally one of the horror films that you remember for that classic scene, like where she just literally kills everybody because of the pig's blood. It was just another Stephen King adaptation, and another one that was just, I feel, very original for its time, whereas Halloween is just another basic slasher. Where it is a good film, it's another slasher film where we have plenty of those in that genre. We didn't really have many with, like Carrie.
Okay.
I mumbled my words a lot.
Well, minus points. No, I think Halloween, like I said, they're both really good, but Halloween is just great because we're on the topic of horror movies, and Halloween is like a classic horror film. It's like a very slashery. It captures the campy, old fun of horror films. And I know Carrie's good, but like it's not as good. It's just about a girl who goes to prom. It's an old Stephen King, man. How many movies are you gonna get? Halloween is it spawned a series of campy, fun horror movies.
Okay, all right. Those are some fair points, Zombie. But for this
Number 637. All right,
637.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Just I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Zombie 637. Well, I'm sadly Zombie 637. I'm gonna have to go with Mickey on this one. Carrie sounded way more interesting to me than what you described in Halloween.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
I could have gone with either one, so it wasn't really a loss.
This is definitely a harder pitch to make to pitch a
It's getting
classic slasher movie.
Oh God.
All right, Alien and The Shining. All right, I don't know. I can't tell which one you guys are gonna go for. So let's get to it. 3, 2, 1.
Alien.
all
right.
That, I mean, it's
It's a classic.
It's gonna keep going.
That's
All
a
right.
beautiful one.
Alien remains undefeated. Next we have the Great Pumpkin. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown and Carrie.
It's you versus you.
This is a big decision for Mickey. All right, let's get to it then. 3, 2, 1.
Carrie.
I was Carrie, yeah.
I only wait to see what you choose.
I lost my words. I was like, I choked on my mask. It's Carrie.
Charlie
And anyone in the studio can fight me about Charlie Brown.
I see a few people jumped up out of anger out of that choice, but there went Carrie.
All right, on to the next one then. We have Alien versus Carrie.
Okay. All right.
I feel like I know what you guys are gonna say.
Yeah.
But let's get to it. 3, 2, 1.
Alien.
Alien.
Yeah, with my eyes closed.
Still undefeated.
Yeah, no, it's gonna go
Still the
undefeated.
king.
It definitely will. I can see that winning out even over most of the contemporary ones, but again, we'll see how they go.
Well, now we're moving into the stage where I've actually seen some of these movies. So it's gonna be, the arguments are gonna have to be stronger.
So we'll bring in the next one.
Welcome everyone to the second round. We have our new guests right over here. We're gonna get into the movies right after this, but first let's introduce our new guests.
I am devilishly handsome Austin.
And I'm the Werewolf of Wall Street, Daniel Lando. Big reveal. You're welcome.
Well, Austin, I'm pressed to agree with you, but let's move on to the new movies. First, we have Get Out with an unprecedented 99 on Rotten Tomatoes, and Sinister with a 63. I don't know why these are paired up together, but let's see what they think. 3, 2, 1.
Get out.
Get Out. That's, yeah.
If I was on the other side, that's what I'd say too. So Get Out moves forward. On to the next, we have Babadook and The Visit. Babadook with a 98 and The Visit with a 65. There seems to be a trend going on here. I don't know why though. Let's go with the next. 3, 2, 1.
Babadook.
Oh man,
These pairings, man.
Yeah.
these pairings getting slaughtered.
I said before.
Mathematically, it's just not fair. All right, moving on to the next. It Follows and Insidious, keeping the trend going. All right, so let's see. 3, 2, 1.
Insidious.
It Follows.
Ooh.
That was close for me, I'll say. But
All right. Well, we're gonna have to get into it. So, devilishly handsome ass Austin. Let's see how.
Okay, so full disclosure, I have never seen It Follows, so that's why I chose Insidious. Clearly, I want to say Insidious when I watched it although it wasn't like directly scary for me, I felt like there was a couple scenes, and I think that's kind of what we're judging it off of, since it's a Halloween movie. It's supposed to be like scary or spooky in some way.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a couple uneasy scenes and stuff like that, and I felt like that really, like from the description I've read of It Follows, didn't really go with that.
All right. Well, let's hear it from Wolfie next.
Okay, as far as uneasiness goes, It Follows has this beautiful, creeping pace. So many shots, it feels like you're in the shoes of the monster, just like slowly walking towards the main characters. And just the way they shot it, so stylistic, so beautiful. It just poops on Insidious in every way. Do what you will with that.
Well, after that passionate rebuttal, I'm gonna have to side with It Follows.
Fair.
Not because of the Rotten Tomatoes score, but just because of how passionate Wolfie was and how deliberate he was with his words. So let's move on to the next films. It versus The Conjuring, or just Conjuring. I really don't know which way this one's gonna go, so I'll leave it to you guys. 3, 2, 1.
It, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate
movie.
talking about this, especially you. Every time you text me about the movie It,
I love being difficult.
you love.
I just really, it gets me, it's just great. So on to the next two films. We have Get Out and Babadook, similarly rated on Rotten Tomatoes if I can remember. So let's see what you guys think. 3, 2, 1.
Babadook.
Get Out. What?
Ooh.
Yeah.
What? I thought you were cool.
Wow. Just like that, man.
All right, well, let's start with Austin.
Okay, so I've seen both of these movies multiple times. I felt like I watched Babadook more and more because I actually like same thing with Insidious, where it was kind of just like irky like throughout the whole thing. Where Get Out, it was kind of predictable for me. Like I was sitting there watching it, and like I guessed literally the entire plot of the movie and the ending. Like it was nothing. Where the Babadook, sure, that was also a little predictable, but at least it was very well done and well written, in my opinion.
Okay.
All right. Now, I don't judge Get Out based on predictability. I judge Get Out based on wokeness. And there were just so many levels. Also, the memes were great. There was like so many memes.
Many memes.
Can we appreciate the memes for a minute? But yeah, wokeness. Like the scene where she separates the cereal and the milk, that was just so indicative of the whole movie on the whole for me. And there were so many nested images like that. Every frame was a painting. Beautiful movie. Get Out.
Get Out, yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to side with Austin on this one because despite having seen Get Out and thinking that was the better choice, being fair, going just off the arguments, you spent too much time on how woke it was. And yes, it was woke, but that's not an argument. So on to the next. It Follows versus It. So let's see how this goes. 3, 2, 1.
It Follows.
Ooh. Okay. Well, we'll start with Wolfie on this one. What do you think?
My insides are so split. They're both really fantastic movies, but for me it comes down to just like unity of vision, and it seems like It Follows did a beautiful movie on a low budget, and again with that pacing, that creepy crawly feeling. Plus, it is only half a movie. The second half is yet to come out.
Okay, strong words. Okay, so for my time, I would like to point out that, once again, I have not seen It Follows. But I would also like to say that even in our group chat for Pop Culture Corner here, we have literally had conversations about like the small stuff in the background, and like the attention to detail was very, very good. And like, I was a real big fan of the original, so of course I'm going to pick this because a little bit of a fanboy, but like I felt like it revived very well, and it did a really good job of, you know, coming to modern day.
Well, I am the judge. I have the final decision, and for my final decision, I'm going to have to side with It Follows. Just it is a based off your argument, there's just the fact that it's a whole vision put together with so little was just very compelling. Well, so for the final in the new bracket, we're gonna have Babadook versus It Follows. So at the count of 3, let's just go. 3, 2, 1,
Babadook.
go.
It Follows. Got to go for the carry.
Ooh, okay. Well, you've came to this topic many times of It Follows, so let's start with you, Babadook.
I don't feel like I said this enough. I have never seen It Follows. But Babadook, I guess, is my choice because as he's following It Follows, I'm going with Babadook. It was a really good movie. I felt like the actors in it were amazing. The little kid played like that kind of scared, almost as if something's seriously wrong, and his mom was even as good as he was, because throughout the whole thing the Babadook was following him. The book was just, in my opinion, was just very well put together.
I'll concede. Babadook, great movie. It dealt well with social themes, but for me it comes down to rewatchability. And Babadook, I watched it a second time, I was just giggling every beat. Whereas It Follows, I just recently watched it again, felt the same creepy, crawly, fantastic feeling that I felt the first time, and that's what it comes down to for me.
Can I ask real quick, why are you giggling at Babadook?
It's hilarious.
Fair enough.
Just the horror beats, they didn't land the second time around.
Okay. Well, this is definitely a hard one for me. I have not seen Babadook, but I'm gonna have to side with It Follows again. It Follows is just a very well put together film, and based off of the argument Wolfie keeps presenting over and over again, I'm gonna have to side with It Follows. Well, now in the finals we have Alien and It Follows, and I can't see which way it's going, so stay tuned.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final round. We have Zombie 637 from we don't know what TV show it's from, but and we have The Wolf of Wall Street over here as our final contestants, and they will be arguing over Alien versus It Follows. So without further ado, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1.
Alien.
What? It Follows.
Wait, you picked this.
Pretty obvious. Pretty obvious what it was going to be, but I still did it anyway. Well, I'll give you guys 30 seconds to make a statement and say why you think your movie is better, and then afterwards I'll give you a 20-second rebuttal.
Do we fight over that too?
I'll give it to 3.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I'll end this quick for you. Alien is just a phenomenal film. It started off one of the sci-fi horror series. Basically, it's this really creepy. The concept of being alone with a xenomorph on an alien spaceship in the middle of nowhere.
Xenomorph.
And yeah, the alien.
I know this.
And obviously, the whole
Definitely
caption in space, "No one can hear you scream." That's iconic, and that's all from Alien. And it's still a terrifying concept today. And I just recently watched it. Still just as intense and exciting.
All right.
Your turn.
All right, for me, It Follows, especially over Alien, is more of a horror movie rather than an action movie, because Alien, you get that happy ending, whereas It Follows, you don't. It Follows ends on such an uncertain note. The horror goes from the screen straight into your living room and sometimes in your nightmares. The alien dies. Come on, you're safe at the end.
All right. Well,
I'm about to bite this neck, dude. Anyway,
So-
is it my turn?
yes, it is your turn for your rebuttal.
First of all,
Let's see.
Alien is not an action movie. That's Aliens, the sequel. So Alien is an actual horror movie. It's literally just and he's talking about It Follows as a creepy pace. That's the same thing that Alien does. It basically started the whole really slow, there's no dialogue. It's just creepy hallways and shots of where is the xenomorph? And it's just really intense. I don't know what you're
Well,
talking
we're gonna
about.
have to cut you off, but yeah, those are some pretty good points. And Wolfie, for your final statement.
So I hear my opponent, Sri, who's also just not a good person, bringing up that Alien started the creeping pace. But if you start something, it doesn't necessarily mean that you did it the best. And It Follows really just mastered that creepy, crawly pace And I don't feel like I need to even fill up my 20 seconds.
You're giving up? Okay.
Yep.
Well,
That's my case.
that is a lot to think about there. Both of your arguments were real heavy on the style of the film, one just being that it started everything, and just some more rehashing from your other arguments. So I'm gonna have to say, for this one, I'm gonna go with Alien. Alien is the winner of the movie Madness. I should redo that.
Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. Get your hand
Wolfie
off my
failed.
mic.
Well, Alien won.
Is that a wrap?
Undefeated all the way through. Well, thank you for joining us on our Movie Madness Halloween edition. Was happy to be here in costumes. Thank you for zombie number 637, I think. I think we figured out what TV show it's from, too. I think it was The Walking Dead and The Wolf of Wall Street over here. Thank them for coming, but see you later. All right. That was